representing it in the National Assembly. Because huko itatoboa. Because there you're just called, now come vote. And they vote. In fact, I had one member of the National Assembly telling me, mimi hapa niko as a voting machine. Ile naambiwa ndio mimi nafanya, usije kulobi kwangu, I can't go with what you are lobbying. Iko reality ya siasa yangu. Okay. So I agree with you that not necessarily a hung parliament, but a parliament that is evenly divided can be extremely critical. I'm more anxious about the outcome of these independent candidates, how they will reposition themselves once elected. It is likely that if you're an independent candidate elected in New Nyanza, it is likely that you will position yourself closer to Raila Odinga. If you are independent elected from Central Kenya, it is likely that you position yourself closer to Uhuru Kenyatta. So these are some of the dynamics. So they are only independent to that extent where they did not get that party ticket. They are not independent in terms of views. In fact, that's why all of them, every independent candidate is supporting one candidate to another. Mimi nampenda Uhuru, problem yangu ni hapa tu. Mimi nampenda Raila, problem yangu ni hapa tu. Sasa Raila naye akasema independent enemies. Then he had to retract that yesterday. Because people don't know how to deal with this army of independent candidates. It's the truth. Yeah. So because it depends. Some of them are going to get seats because some of them are really popular. I know some independents here in Mombasa, they are going to win. So how do you deal with that equation? And this guy says he loves you. He's saying everywhere in the platform he loves you. You know, the least you can do to somebody who says he loves you or she loves you is to keep quiet. And then when people ask you within your own camp, vipi ile jamaa nakusupport? You say, yeye ndo alisema nipenda. Mimi sijasema. Seriously, that's this kind of very dilemma we're in. I think the Kibarani should have long stopped being a dump site. We needed to have relocated the dump site ages ago. And there's also reclamation there going on. And it's causing massive pollution. So I think the policy for us in terms of our environment is to do things that improve the health of the county. So the important thing is to stop the Kibarani dump site, have an alternative, and then look for a waste management system that is sustainable. Waste to energy, including building waste to energy plants. So these are whole complex matrix, and I know there's been a lot of complaints about the Kibarani that there is a lot of pollution. We got it there as a dumping site, but it is time maybe that you do not dump on your main artery to the airport and create all this pollution on a regular basis, harming the sea, harming the ecosystem around the area. So it is important to rethink and relocate. The convenience of today can be a detriment for tomorrow. Whether I see the potholes, I do see them. I do see them, no doubt. And that's why some of us, being honest with you, have offered our candidacy. Because I believe politics must be solution-oriented. In fact, if I wish I had the time to articulate my manifesto, you will see that some of these things are clearly articulated, including a necessary partnership between Mombasa County and the national government. Whichever national government. There is no way a county of this magnitude can run its affairs with 5 billion shillings. When you fail to grow it, you fail to be equitable in the distribution of that cake, investors are running away, the red tape has increased in the county, there is no circulation of wealth, you have a taxing people at the lowest prison, small-scale traders, mama mboga, even some counties even propose to tax chicken and goats. So when you do all this, it becomes counterproductive to the growth of that economy. These counties were supposed to be like small subsidiaries that will be able to then regenerate themselves. So that little money was coming to you was like a small little grant to simply do a couple of effective housekeeping issues and be able to grow that economy so that it is able to produce and sustain itself on a myriad of issues and challenges that face you. But when it comes to infrastructure proper, unless you have a nexus with the national government, today Mombasa has not had serious infrastructure development, apart from you need to do our roads to Kilifi, Malindi, you need to create bypasses. So how can you do that without a grand plan and working with partnership at the national government? So there is no way. So that's why we have what we call the duality of infrastructure investment, where we're going to demand from national government 50 billion in infrastructure, 10 billion per year. Because if Mombasa is really your port city, then it does not live to the status of a port city. Most port cities across the world are also industrial cities. Its potential has not been realized to its optimum. Mombasa should by essence be the wealthiest city in the country by virtue of the port and the natural resources in terms of the blue economy. So all this must be captured in a framework and be able now to grow it in a manner that now appears to reflect in both service delivery and infrastructure development. So and then we're going to create something called the industrial park. That's why, as I said, there is no port city in the world which is also not an industrial city. So you need to give plans for it. Why are you opening the VW assembly plant in Thika? It will have made sense if you opened it in Mombasa. The ship comes, it docks, it assembles. Those that are for the market internally go internal. Those are for the market externally. They are loaded back into the ship. It's only common sense. So these are some of the visions we have, and we hope that, so that we want to create the Mombasa Investment Corporation and to attract real investment. Today we are in a tent. It has no facility that can carry 2,000, 3,000 participants. So these are some of the areas that we are interrogating. We have a litany of professionals who are helping us. And then the last question about publishing names of party stalwart. I hope first and foremost, CPA, my brother, you did not lose nomination. My most sincere apologies for that. I'm just on a lighter touch. That's why I made it clear that we need to put in systems to strengthen our party nominating processes. One must feel the confidence to go into a party primary and know that he or she will receive justice there. And I'm one of those proponents, just that it is not in this election, but next election, because at this election, I believe IBC will be overwhelmed, was going to be overwhelmed. So to get IBC to conduct party primaries will have been, can you imagine if all these complaints were against the IBC? We will have had no IBC by the end of these primaries. So what we need to do is to put in safety nets and allow IBC to provide some form of oversight or direct participation in party nominating processes this year, maybe next election, moving on. So that I don't think it's only though about professionals are not having, don't wanting to be subjected themselves to this type of mistreatment. But I also think deeply, most professionals are very comfortable in their little space. So I think unless you are made angry about something, and therefore you still enjoy the comforts of your space. So as I can tell you, I agree with you, and I made that statement without hesitation. I know for a fact party primaries can be a Waterloo. That's why almost all politicians try to avoid them. That's why some people jumped ship before the parties. That's why you see people went to sister parties, depending on which coalition you're in. Even Kina Uhuru Kenyatta finally had to accept a few sister parties. Initially they told everybody come into Jubilee. Now they have affiliates called Na Kenya, Maendeleo Chap Chap, sijui that farmer pastoralist party, sijui kuna gani nyingine. Because people know that ultimately there's only one winner, and everybody trusts the processes at the very end, but not the processes of nomination. So what we need to do is to see whether we can create regulation and law that guides the nomination process so that you can receive fairness in terms of regulation. But as I end, the other dilemma I have, you resign from your public service or your private sector job, and then immediately come and join WIPA or ODM. We have no way of sieving your loyalty or your ideological inclination to those parties, isn't it? Some of these people just joined the parties the other day. So maybe we must also create a criteria that you should have been a member of that party for a reasonable length of time to prove your commitment. Then that day one, after the elections, you're aligning yourself to the next party or to the next government. Meaning in the first place, you did not believe in that party. It was a convenience for you to win an election. So you come with your little money.
Tom will do the housekeeping, so that tell how long should we be able to go out for tea and come back for the next session?
Let's appreciate the people who led the first session. So quickly, just make one quick announcement. Those of us who parked wrongly, again, those who have their vehicles parked wrongly, you're requested to move them where you parked. You're blocking delegates are getting in. That's KCG 857X, vehicle number KBZ 790E, vehicle number KCK 172G, and KCH 727Z. I repeat, KCG 857X, KBZ 790E, KCK 172G, and KCH 727Z. We are breaking for tea. We request that we take 15 minutes, then we come back at 25 minutes past, about 25 minutes past midday. Thank you.